Have you ever wondered why some people seem to manifest effortlessly, while others struggle no matter how hard they try? Or why certain desires show up in your life quickly, while others feel like they're taking the scenic route? A big part of this mystery comes down to something scientific, something inside your brain, something called the Reticular Activating System, or the RAS. And once you understand how your RAS works, manifestation becomes less of a guessing game, and more of a predictable, repeatable process. So in this video, you're going to learn the truth about the RAS, how it shapes your reality, and how you can train it to support the life you actually want to create. Let's begin. The Reticular Activating System is a small but powerful network of nerves located in the brainstem. You can think of it like the brain's filter. Every second, your senses take in millions of pieces of information, sounds, colors, movements, smells, sensations, far too much for your conscious mind to process. So your RAS steps in. Its job is simple: let in what's important. Filter out what's not. And how does it decide what's important? Not based on what you say you want, but based on what you focus on most, what you emotionally react to, and what you repeatedly think about. In other words, your RAS is programmed by your dominant identity, your dominant beliefs, and your dominant patterns of attention. This is why when you decide you want a certain type of car, you suddenly start seeing it everywhere. It's not that the cars magically appeared, it's that your RAS finally opened the filter. And this is exactly where manifestation begins. Manifestation isn't just about attracting something into your life. It's about aligning your mind, your emotions, and your identity so your RAS knows what to let in, and what to ignore. Your RAS is constantly scanning your environment for anything that matches your beliefs. So if your inner narrative is, "I'm not good enough. Nothing works out for me. I never have enough money," then your RAS will filter your world through those beliefs. It will highlight evidence that supports them. It will ignore opportunities that contradict them. And it will reinforce the identity that created them. Not because the universe is punishing you, but because your brain is following its programming. Manifestation becomes powerful when you learn how to update that programming. So how do you train your RAS to work for you instead of against you? It starts with clarity. Your RAS needs a clear signal, a defined target, something specific to filter for. If your desires are vague, your RAS can't do its job. But when your intention is clear, your brain starts scanning your environment for anything that matches that direction. Next, you need repetition. The RAS is influenced by consistency. Not by wishing hard, not by saying an affirmation once, but by repeated exposure to the same message. This is where tools like visualization, vision boards, journaling, and meditation become effective. You're not just doing them. You're actually training your perceptual filter. Third, you need emotion. The RAS prioritizes whatever carries emotional weight. Fear, excitement, gratitude, stress. All of these send strong signals. This is why gratitude and embodiment practices work. They shift your emotional baseline, which shifts what your RAS pays attention to. And finally, you need identity alignment. Your RAS follows who you believe you are. If you don't believe you're the kind of person who succeeds, your RAS will filter out opportunities for success. If you don't believe you're worthy of love, your RAS will ignore evidence of love. If your identity contradicts your desire, your RAS becomes confused, the signal becomes scrambled, and manifestation feels like it's not working. But when your identity matches your desire, the RAS has no resistance. It becomes open, receptive, alert, and focused. And that's when shifts start happening fast. Let's look at this in a practical example. Imagine you want to manifest financial abundance. You visualize it. You say affirmations. You make a vision board. But deep down, your identity still says, "I always struggle financially. Money is stressful. I'm not good with money." Your RAS hears the identity more loudly than the desire. So it filters for struggle, instability, and lack. Now imagine you shift your identity. You begin to see yourself as someone capable, resourceful, and open to opportunity. You practice gratitude. You regulate your emotions. You create new habits that match the version of you who feels empowered instead of overwhelmed. Suddenly, your RAS updates. It starts highlighting ideas, solutions, opportunities, people, and pathways that were invisible before. Not because they magically appeared, but because you finally became the version of you capable of seeing them. This is the real connection between the RAS and manifestation. You don't attract what you want. You notice, choose, and act on what matches who you are. So manifestation isn't about forcing reality to change. It's about changing the filter through which you see reality. And once you understand how to work with your perceptual filter, manifestation stops feeling mystical. And starts feeling logical, natural, even scientific. Your Raz is always listening. Always learning. Always adjusting to your inner world. So if you want your outer world to shift, start with the way you think, the way you feel, the way you speak to yourself, and the identity you choose to embody. You are the programmer. Your mind is the system. And your Raz is the bridge between your inner reality and your outer results. Train it wisely. And your life will begin to align with the version of you who already has what you're asking for. Like and subscribe for more.